Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful baby frock, perfect for baby christening or any special occasion. This is super easy to make and very beginners friendly. So if you're interested in learning the step-by-step process of how to achieve this perfect result, then stay tuned. So right here I have my fabric, which is not more than half yard, and I have lining pieces where I'm going to be making the markings on top. Because it's a white fabric, we don't want to stain the white. Okay, so I'm going to be folding fabric for the cutting of the front and back part, and note that the back is going to have zipper allowance excess, and I have folded that in so it doesn't distract. Okay, so I am pinning it to make sure it stays in place. So we'll take our measurement. For the neck width I use 2 inches, and for the neck depth I use 2.5 inches. This is for the front neckline, so I am going to go ahead and carve out the neck. Now I'll reduce the neck for the back, and for that I'll be using about 1 inch. This is the back neckline that I am marking right here. So for the shoulder I use 4.5, and for the armhole depth I used 4.5 as well. Then I will connect from that armhole depth straight to the shoulder line. I slanted the shoulder with about half of an inch and connected to the neckline width. On the chest line here, I am going to mark the chest measurements divided by 4 plus sewing allowance, which I used 7 inches for that. And for the waistline, I used 6.5 inches. Connect the waistline to the chest line just like this to shape the side, and then go ahead to carve out the armhole just like I am doing right here. So I'm basically done. I'm going to first of all cut off the back neckline and then cut the whole thing out. So I'll take away the back part and go ahead and trim off the front neckline. So I'll go ahead and use the lining piece to cut out on the other fabric. So here is the main fabric. I forgot to say that the half length is 8 inches, just in case you needed that. So because this is a transparent lace, it's going to be having 2 different kind of lining. One to laminate it, that is to cover it, and the other one to actually serve as the main lining. First, I'll place the lining piece on the lace, or the lace on the lining pieces, and go ahead and stitch it together. I'll do this for all the pieces that I have cut out. So I have stitched the lining pieces on top of the lace fabric, which has reduced the transparency. Next, I'm going to go ahead and place the actual lining on top of the fabric, just as I am doing right here. And I'm going to just stitch on the neckline. For the back, I'll stitch on the neckline and the center back with just a little inch, okay? So I have stitched on the neckline and center back like I said earlier, and I also made notches which will help to relax the fabric when flipped to the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and turn everything to the right side. You can see how neat the inside is appearing right now. Next thing is to join the shoulder, which I am going to place the front piece on the back piece and then join the shoulder, matching the main fabric with the main fabric and the lining with the lining. So I have joined the shoulders like I said earlier, and this is how it's looking right now. Next, I'll proceed to stitch on the armhole area, that is to give that area a neat finishing since it's not going to be having a sleeve. So I'll simply turn it over just like I am doing in this video, matching the fabric to the lining. I'll go ahead and pin that in place so it doesn't move around. So just watch what I am doing in case you're a beginner and you need to get everything correctly. So I am going to just stitch with just a little allowance so it doesn't drastically reduce the armhole area. So I have stitched on the armhole and I am just going to go ahead and flip it out to the right side from this opening right here. So this will help to give the armhole area a very neat finishing instead of staying tacky. Now, if you don't want the armhole area to reduce as much, you can actually add sewing allowance on the fabric before cutting out. So I'm going to also repeat the same thing on the side to also give that a neat finishing. I'll stitch on very tiny allowance to cover the roughness on the side. And here is it. You can see everything is now neat. So to proceed, I'll match the side and go ahead and join with sewing allowance that I added. I've joined the side here and right now we'll proceed with the lower part. Here is the fabric that I have cut out for the lower part, and this is ×3 of the entire waistline of the top part. Okay, if you want it less fuller, you can make it ×2. If you want it more fuller than what I have in my own, you can make it ×4. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and gather this. Now I also have another one because it is double layered ruffle. Okay, and it is still the same ×3 of the waistline of the top. I want everything to be equal. Now the length of the longer one is 12 inches while the length of the shorter one is 8 inches. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and gather this on my sewing machine separately and then join them together. I've gathered the lower parts and joined both of them together. Next, I'll proceed with joining the lower part to the top part. Okay, I've joined the lower part to the top part and this is how it is looking. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover the seam line with this lining piece and to also make the lower part non-transparent. Okay, so I'll place it upward like this and then stitch and I'll be back. I have fixed the lining on the lower part and this is the outcome. So to finish up the dress, I'll go ahead and fix the zipper. If you don't already know how to fix zippers on dresses, you can drop a request in the comments so I'll make a different tutorial for that. So the dress is basically ready, but I have to run a quick tutorial on how to make a double-sized bow with 2 different colors of fabric. So here are the materials I have cut out for the bow: a red fabric and the white lace fabric. Measurements of the fabric: for the white one, I have 7 inches on fold and 7 inches length. For the red one, I have 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches and they are all on fold. Okay, for this tiny piece right here, I have it at 3.5 by 2 inches. This red fabric is very lightweight that I had to add a soft gum to give it a bit of structure. So just fold the fabric over to the wrong side. I will stitch like I am demonstrating here and leave a little opening where I will turn the fabric out from. I will also turn the white fabric and stitch and leave a little opening where I will also turn it out from. So to restate that, I am going to go ahead and stitch on 1/2 inch like I am pointing right here. I'll also repeat the same on the white fabric, and then for this little piece I'm just going to either fold to the wrong side or better still fold it on the right side and just stitch on a little inch. I've stitched on the fabrics just like I explained earlier, so I'm just going to trim off the edges so that the pointy angle of the bow is just going to be able to come out nice. So here is the little opening I left to turn it out to the right side from. So I'm just going to turn it out. I'll also use my scissors to make sure I push out the pointy edges so the edges stay pointy and sharp. Okay, I'll repeat the same thing with the red fabric. I'll trim off the pointy edges and then turn it out to the right side. Afterwards, I'm just going to go ahead and give this a good press. And then for the opening, I will make sure to insert a gum in between while pressing it out. So I have ironed it out and everything is coming out fine. Now I'm just going to pleat the center of the fabric to give it a bow shape. After pleating, I will use a thread to tie it so it stays in place. I also repeat the same process with the red fabric. So to get the bow shape, simply get the middle point of the fabric that you have sewn in square shape and then pleat that point together. It will now form a bow. Go ahead and use a rope to tie it together. Make sure to tie this very well and knot it so that everything stays steady and secured. If you're getting value from this video, kindly give this video a thumb up. Thank you. Now join the two bows together and also use a thread to tie it together in order to keep it secured. If you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button now. Give this video a thumb up. It will really mean a lot to me. Now go ahead and use the tiny piece that we have made and cover the center of the bow and use a needle and thread to hold it together at the back, just like I am doing right here. Ensure you're stitching this very closely to the end and make it tight so it doesn't loosen. After stitching, make sure to knot it severally so it stays secured and not loosen so quickly. Now go ahead and attach this to your dress, either on the back of the dress or on the front of the dress, and voila! You have your little princess dress ready to put a smile and shine on her. So this has brought us to the end of today's tutorial. I hope you got value from this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe, like, and turn on notification bell. Let's keep making beautiful baby dresses together.